I'm back for our second story of the Playscape all around town. And it is called Career Day because our town run off of people called community helpers. And these are all about some community helpers. When special visitors come to our school, they tell us about the work they do. Then we tell them about the work we do. Today it's my turn to introduce my visitor. Who do you think his visitor will be? What if I forget what I'm supposed to say? Sometimes that happens. Not just to me, Mrs. Madoff says, but to everyone. Have we all forgotten something at some point? I think so. Here he is, right on time. This is my dad, I say. He drives a big bulldozer, and he's helping to build our new library. Good morning, Mr. Lopez, everyone says. Good morning, boys and girls, my dad says. So there's his dad. He's a construction worker. Next, we meet Charlie's visitor. His mother is a judge who works in a courtroom and wears a long black robe. If there's too much noise, she pounds her gavel and says, "Order in the court." Then everyone has to be quiet. When Katie introduces her visitor, she says, "My dad plays bass in an orchestra at night. He practices all day and takes care of my baby brother while our mother goes to work at the bank." So he's a musician. Michiko's mother writes books for us to read. She draws the pictures in them too. She's very good at drawing mice. Now, a person who writes books are called the author, and the person who illustrates them is the person who draws pictures. So she's an author and an illustrator. Mrs. Madoff's visitor is her husband. He's a scientist called a paleontologist. He just got back from South America where he was digging for dinosaur bones. The bones tell us about dinosaurs that lived long ago. Have you guys ever seen any dinosaur bones? Sarah's visitor is our crossing guard. She brings Sarah to school every day because she is also Sarah's grandmother. That's why Sarah is always the first one at school and the last one to go home in the afternoon. Have you seen a crossing guard at schools? Who's next? Oh, Evelyn's mother is a nurse in the hospital. She takes care of all the newborn babies in our town. She tells us those babies are very, very cute, but they sure do cry a lot when they're hungry. Ooh, I think that would be a hard job sometimes. Jessica's mother takes care of animals. She's a veterinarian, the kind of doctor who makes sick animals better. Does anyone want to be a vet when they grow up? Sam's visitor drives the sanitation truck that carries our garbage to the big town dump. Kate and Evelyn and I wave to him just as we always do whenever he comes down the street. "Hey kids, remember to recycle," Sam's father says. But he's the garbage man. Evan's father wears a leather apron that holds the tool he uses all the time. He shows us how to hammer a nail. He must build things. So he's a builder. When it's time for Nicholas to introduce his visitor, he says, "I bet you've all bought groceries at the Friendly Farm Market." Guess what? My father is the manager of the store. So there's his father managing the grocery store. Today is Mr. Sikosi's turn to introduce his special visitor. He says, "Good morning, everyone. I'd like you to meet Professor Alcorn. He's my teacher at college." Hey, I never knew grown-ups had teachers too. We all have teachers. Grown-ups sure have interesting work to do, and so do we. I wonder what I'll be when I grow up. So what do you think you'll be when you grow up? And this was Career Day, story by Anne Rockwell and pictures by Lizzie Rockwell. So think about what you want to be when you grow up. I always knew I wanted to be a teacher, and here I am being a teacher at the library. So hope you enjoyed, and we will see you Friday for our next installment of Play K. Thanks, guys.